What is going on? I'd say Facebook, but I think we're all over the interwebs at the moment. So everybody everywhere, what's going on? How we doing? Let people in, Rahul. Let the VIPs in, or make me host
The
of it.
VIPs are on their way in.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Everybody out there in the world, if you're watching this right now and you're excited, drop me a hashtag live. Okay, this is for the algorithm, always, guys. And if you're watching this in the future, somewhere down the line, give me a hashtag replay. We're letting in our VIPs. If you don't know what a VIP is,
Whoa, whoa. There's so much talking going on.
if you don't know what a VIP is, they're called very important people for a reason, and they get to sit in with us live on these trainings, and then have VIP sessions immediately afterwards. Something cool, in my opinion, that they're about to get today. If they've been paying attention, they'll find out soon. Let's go look. I want to just show it off a little bit because it's pretty cool. Something that the VIP people today are going to get. Give me share screen ability, Rahul.
You got it. Hold on. All right, off you go. You got it.
They're going to get a SaaS Agency Foundations course. It's actually badass as fuck, and it is completely an unnecessary ad, but it's almost Christmas time. So I was like, well, we should give people presents. So we're giving them an Agency Foundations SaaS course, okay? 50 lessons, one completely on what a SaaS agency is, the SaaS agency model, how to create an offer for it, how to create an irresistible offer and sell it, how to actually go get clients. They're going to get agency pitch decks that go along with it, a couple of little miniature snapshots, and a full top to bottom go high level training. Snapshots, how to use them, what to do to get started, basic sub account setups, conversation stuff, funnel builder training, automations training, CRM and contact training, scheduling tool training, utilizing different features training, SaaS mode training, and how to really ramp up your shit. And I'm going to be adding in a couple of more things to it here pretty soon. This alone should be, I think, like a 5K course, but we're going to be giving it away to the VIP people for Christmas. And if you want it out there in Facebook land and also want to sit in on these trainings every single week, see us face to face, talk to us, get actual direct, high ticket, high value coaching from us, drop a hashtag VIP. I'll tell you right now, it costs as much for Christmas as your next cup of coffee. It's $7 motherfucking dollars. Can't help myself but to swear in situations like this. Come on now. Drop a hashtag VIP down below, or literally click the link that's, I believe, in the description. Either or, do whichever one of those two things you want to do, and you can hop on here and be awesome. And all you VIP people who didn't know you were getting that, Merry Christmas. Look out today. We're going to be unraveling that today for all of you. It's going to be badass as fuck.
Yeah, so my message to Cody before this live was, hey, let's give our VIP members a discount on this fucking thing. And now this guy says it's free. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank Cody, not me, for this. So the rest of you guys, like Cody mentioned, $7 fucking dollars. Buy this shit. If you're too cheap to buy it, then you're fucking too cheap, but you're gonna get so much more value out of it. And because everybody on the planet motherfucking earth can afford $7, and that's why we specifically pick that number. Then it turns into 47 because we're gonna buy the value as we go. So it's super duper cheap. It'll beat the shit out of some of the coaching you've done in the past. So we took every objection. Now there's my sales pitch. That's done. But now we'll tell you guys how you're going to get it, because we're going to have you guys comment and post on Facebook inside of our group. I want to blow up the algorithm and get like 200-300 comments on this live stream if we can. So while you guys go there, if we get to 200 comments, then we're going to give it to you free and then only. So if you guys want to comment multiple times, drop some value bombs, that's how you're going to get it while you guys are on the VIPs. So yes, there is a little bit of work. And those of you guys that are out there in Facebook land, if for some miracle and some crazy reason you don't know how to get the link to the VIP, the $7, we'll give it to you. Just type in the number 7 in the chat. Okay. Now, before we get started on the ads, I'm going to let Cody kind of get his glass of water, his falsetto voice rocking and rolling, because he's going to be doing a lot of the talking. I'll be doing a lot of the interrupting. Tell us where you're tuning in from on Facebook, just so we get a lay of the land of who's watching this stuff. I love kind of seeing where this is how I learned geography, by the way. I never actually paid attention, so I have no idea what the capitals of all 50 or 51 states, if you count Puerto Rico, right? So you guys help me understand where you guys are from, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling. And right here, right now, what we're going to teach is stuff that is under the hood. Like, I know that there's so much free shit out there, and some people think, oh, it's free, it's going to give you that like baseline information, some stuff, or it just gives you a taste. We're going to give a little bit deeper for the VIPs once we cut the stream, because this is under the hood stuff, like I mentioned, because anybody who has a credit card is a media buyer technically. So all you do is put your digits in Facebook and then go buy some shit and go fuck it up, right? We're going to teach you how to take that same exact dollar amount you're spending and actually make it work. So the ads no longer suck for you. The cost of your ad leads are not just through the fucking roof, or maybe you don't even know what they should be. You might be guessing, and how to actually really optimize. Because a lot of people know how to optimize, and those are the hard-headed people. If you know it, you actually don't know. Because you got to be a natural learner. You got to constantly be wanting additional skills. And that's what we're going to do. Because this is stuff that we've learned over a couple decades of running media ads. And then when Facebook came out in like around 2006-ish or so, I think 2008 was on the ads. That's when we started running them right at the beginning. So we'll take you through. We're not going to take you through the history. Does that sound good for you guys? Everybody happy with that agenda? Learn some new shit, some tricks that you don't already know, and get your clients better results. Heck, get yourself some fucking results, right? Because if you have the money and you're spending ads, jump in our VIP, like our inner circle group. So you the money you're going to spend on ads, we'll save you and show you how to ROI it, because there's going to be running and pushing buttons like objectives, customer journeys, the ad types, the offers, the funnels, all that kind of stuff, which is directly related to the media buy. But then there's going to be the aftermath. What are you going to do to journey them from a top of funnel to a middle funnel to a bottom of funnel to the sale to the close? So we'll cover all of those ingredients, but that's in our inner circle stuff. So is that a good agenda for you, Cody?
Sounds fucking amazing to me. I also paid very little attention to it, and I'm going to do stuff about ads. So here we go. Ready to talk, guys? Who wants to learn about ads? Who wants to learn about fixing ads? Let's start with this. Everybody out there in Facebook land. Oh God, there's 2 rules in here to deal with now. Look at this shit.
That's Ben. That's Ben.
All right, so let's talk about ads. The first thing I want to know, everybody out there in Facebook land and everybody inside here in the VIP right now, tell me if this is something that's happened to you, that you've either tried ads for yourself or tried ads for a client. And even though you started with something you thought was going to be good, you did something you thought was going to kick some ass, they just didn't work. Drop a 1 in the chat or in the comments on Facebook if that's you did some shit and it didn't work, and then you just really weren't sure how to troubleshoot, right? How to look at something and be able to fix it. All right, so we got lots of 1s in the chat. I'm not looking at Facebook yet, but if you're doing that shit, guys, do not lie. This is an area where we're trying to talk to you guys all the time. If you want to be on these lives, if you want to be in these little VIP sessions, you got to be honest with us, right? You got to be telling the truth. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing to try and fix it? So I want to show you guys a couple of things that I've done recently, personally. Okay, two things that I think would make a lot of sense for you guys. Number 1, we took a student who was running agency ads, so ads for his own agency, right? For his own agency clients. Okay. Now he broke the cardinal rule. Rahul, what's the cardinal rule for ads inside the GST?
Don't break the cardinal rule. That's cardinal rule number 1.
The cardinal rule inside the GST is listen to what Cody says. And I know that sounds kind of arrogant, and it doesn't mean to be coming off that way. But I tell people how to do things a certain way, and then they always go off and they try and do it their own way, because we're humans, and that's the way it works. But they don't realize that they paid for the information of how to do it right the first time. So what he did was he went off and he ran his own ads. He did his own thing. He's like, okay, cool, I'm going to go do this. And then he comes back and we do a call every Friday. So inside the main GSD program, we do every Friday is paid traffic call. Where I will literally write people's ads, give them audiences, optimize their ads, run them through the testing process, all that shit to fix their shit. And so he showed up to that call with his ads. He was getting $120 leads. Okay, that was his CPL. Also, just no calls, because how are you ever going to get a call if your lead costs that high anyway? You're not going to let it run long enough. What we did with some of this troubleshooting that I'm going to walk you guys through today, and we were able to turn those $100 leads into $10 leads. Okay, and I believe $50 book calls, and about 20K in revenue in the first month of running them, which got him back up to about, I think, 80K in revenue total after we got that back. So we got to 20 to 30K.
One thing, let me interrupt really quick, because this is 100, where the budget, the ad budget was $3,000 a month, going from $120 cost per lead. I don't know math on what 120 divided by 3,000 is, but I certainly know what $10 divided by 3,000 is. It was anywhere between the neighborhood of 250 to 300 leads that were now coming from the exact same budget, the exact same objective, the exact same demos. So we took them from whatever 12 to 15 calls. I'm just making the number up because I don't know the fucking math, like I said, but I do know when the aftermath of the outcome is. I mean, who would want those kind of results, right? Taking the same fucking budget and getting what 10 times more. That's really kind of what's happening here. So like, this is why I wanted to emphasize the dollar amount you see, but you have to understand the impact, the lifetime value of you guys, like going deeper than just the money, taking care of your families, taking care of your vacations, buying a fucking Porsche, paying your mortgage off, paying that nonsense college debt, which should be technically for free because it's bullshit in college. All of that stuff happens with these tweaks. That's how big time and serious these are. Because I see too many people very fucking nonchalant on their content, on their ads, on whatever they're trying to do for their core business, and they don't take it as serious. But this is the impact: is actual freedom, money, vehicles to get you wherever the fuck you want. Okay, so it goes deeper than just another ads training and I can lower my spend. This is how you retire. This is how you actually build a legacy for children and not just yourself, right? Next generation wealth.
Yeah. And look, dude, I want to do one more here. So what do we do next? Well, we took a client who was stuck. And you guys, some of you people are going to be like, oh, stuck at this level. It still is stuck around 100K a month, just around that down below. Using old techniques, old methods, right? And we were able to take him to his first 200K month by, again, troubleshooting and concentrating on that stuff, by being able to build a new method to be able to take him to that level, right? So doubling the revenue, taking him from stuck to the first one of these, this one taking down your cost per lead, improving your cost per call, all of that stuff, right? Now, who here thinks that either learning how to be able to produce these kind of results for themselves or for their clients, one or the other, would be beneficial to their programs, to their lives, to their stuff? Drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 in the comments inside of any of the groups that's watching this right now, if this is something that you think would be super useful for you to be able to rock out. Cool. So I start with this just to show you guys again, sometimes we get new people on here. We get other people on here like, who the fuck is this guy, this Cody guy trying to tell me how to do my job, trying to tell me how to make things better. I always just want to show, results, guys. This is shit we've done literally recently within the last couple of months. So this is the kind of shit that makes you guys stop and say, okay, cool. Now I got to listen. So perk up your ears a little bit and let's go from there. Because almost always, right, we're talking about fixing your ads today, fixing the problems that come up. And almost always these start with a few different little things. And we're going to go through this. Okay. So first things first, you guys have actually, I'm going to leave this to you guys in the VIP. I want to see your answers in here because I've talked about a lot of this and it's the same with organic for this first one. What do you guys imagine the absolute number one problem most commonly is when it comes to broken ad campaigns and shit that's not working? And guys out there in Facebook land, put it in the comments here in the VIP room, put it in the chat, and I'll be monitoring, of course, the VIP ones, and we'll go from there. All right, I see a few. You are all correct. The VIPs all got it right. I'm going to let it hang in the air for a minute to let some other people put their 2 cents in, see what everybody's saying. But correct. It is the offer. I love it. The offer is the thing that you should spend 90% of your time worrying about. And a lot of this troubleshooting is going to come down to retesting new offers. Okay. But first, I want to put us through understanding an ad campaign that's already running and how to actually be able to analyze it. So we have a few things that we'll call them lagging indicators. And we have leading indicators. Lagging indicators are things like calls, sales, revenue. Leading indicators are things like traffic, leads, cost per click, click-through rates, that kind of stuff. Why they're called leading indicators is because these things lead to the lagging indicators that we want. Now, a lot of people will only pay attention to this, or if they're not getting any of this, they're going to pay attention to the wrong things down here and not know how to decipher. Most of the time, if this is good and this is shit, I don't care. If these are happening at a good cost and we're making money, this shit doesn't matter. We can use it to improve, but this shit doesn't matter because this is working. But if these aren't coming together, if these aren't working, if this isn't producing the result we want, we have to start to pay attention to this. So what we can start to understand is, okay, if our cost per call is too high, if our cost per lead is too high, we start to look at things like, okay, well, our cost per click is high. That probably means one of two things. Either we're getting high CPMs, as in high cost per person being shown the ad, or low engagement, which means that we're getting a lots of people are seeing the ad, but nobody is interested. Low link click-through rate. There's two types of click-through rates. There's the CTR that they show you that a lot of people, and I call them noobs, look at, right? Which is wrong, because this actually includes, like, if you click the see more button, or if you're clicking on the images, or if you're clicking around on the text, you're not really clicking through to the page, this counts that. So in my opinion, it's completely fucking useless. Link click-through rate is the people actually clicking through to the thing, so the lead form or over to the landing page. If this is low, it means one of two things. Most likely, it means your offer sucks. It could mean your creative is bad, but the most likely cause, if it's really low, is that your offer sucks. Because what we're trying to do with most things like creatives and copy and long form, short form copy is improve upon something that's already working. And I'm going to walk you through some troubleshooting and retesting methods here in a second. But conceptually, if you have an offer that's good and you're putting it in front of the right people, then you shouldn't, the rest of it can improve upon that. If you don't get that core piece right, it doesn't matter how fancy your copy is, it's going to fucking absolutely suck. So what normally happens if we have a low CTR, right? The fix, so we're troubleshooting, right? The point of this is kind of consider this like a troubleshooting guide, right? So if our CTR is low, what the fix is going to be is test new offers, then test new. If we have low CPMs, the fix is test new audiences, right? Or not CPMs, low or high cost per click. High CPMs, high cost per click is the same thing. It's going to be fixes either test new audiences, then test new offers, then test new creatives, always doing the rapid fire testing methodology, which is what we're going to go over in a second. Okay. So we're going to go over it in a minute so that I can show you how to actually do all of these testing things. But having this kind of guide is what you want. Now we want to have baseline metrics. This can get a little dry, guys. I understand that. But has everybody followed me so far? Drop a 1 in the chat and a 1 in the comments. If you're following, if you're walking along with this kind of shit is what takes you from a beginner and stuff like this to being able to master it, right? It's being able to understand the levers in front of you. Understand, what do I need to pull? What do I need to adjust? And how do I read the metrics that I'm actually seeing? How do I utilize the information in front of me to be able to go to the next level? So we want to have baseline metrics. So for a click-through rate, like link click-through rate, right? We want to have a 1%. Anything under that, no good. Okay, you want to constantly be trying to get to that point. Cost per click nowadays, honestly, is like $3 to $5. It used to be like $1. It's really $3 to $5 nowadays is what you're shooting for. Cost per lead industry-wide is going to be 10 to 20. Oh,
Well, real quick on the cost that Cody's going over, the history is like ice cream used to be 69 cents for a single. Now it's $1.38. Things go up, right? But right now, the cost of Facebook ads is still cheaper than it actually should be. Like they should be 2 to 3 times more. Their prices should be going up, but we're actually cheaper than we were a year ago. So if you like, we're in a great environment to pick this skill up right here, right now, especially as we compare it to like dinosaur stuff, like billboards and magazines and TV ads and shit like that. This is super, super effective. But real quick, I want to just make sure that you guys are going to gain some useful stuff that you can execute on. Who here is actually running ads right now? Like put a 5 in the chat if you are running ads right now for yourself or clients. 5 in the chat, just so I get a lay of the land. And you guys in Facebook land, 5 in the chat if you guys are running ads. Okay. Okay, and then put a 10 in the chat. So you got to hit 2 digits this time. 10 in the chat if you want to be running ads. If you want to be running ads and you're not yet. So we know who's just getting started, because you can literally accelerate your ad skills by like years, because you're gonna not fall prey to the stupid mistakes we've made, but also other people probably teach. Okay, cool. So we got some people that do want to run ads and some people that are running ads. Ben, check in the Facebook land. Ben's, oh, there you are. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Let's keep going.
Cool. So if we go back to this, what have we done? Well, we've learned how to read metrics, right? So now we know, okay, if these are the problems, what do I do next? So now, and everybody in the VIP room, I'm about to remove this, but you guys know the VIP, you guys get these screenshots. It's already been dropped in the chat. So if you want to go back, I know some of you take your own notes, which is fantastic, but I'm always going to be sharing all the assets and screenshots and shit that I'm doing along the way. So now it's like, okay, Cody, well, I get all that, but how do I do 2 things, right? I want to be able to start off on the right foot to not run into this problem in the future, number 1. And number 2, I want to know how do I go back and reset the way that you're talking about resetting. So I get it. So I understand how to read the data. Now it tells me to test this, test that, test the other thing. How do I do that? Well, if you guys have been in here long enough, you know that we talk about rapid fire testing methodology. Okay, so this is our core methodology for doing a number of things. 1, it's testing at the beginning, launching new campaigns. We run them. If it's an already proven tested offer in a niche that we give you, it's like, okay, cool. We just run with it. And if we have to make adjustments, we make adjustments. But if we're launching a brand new offer, brand new campaign, brand new client, we always go through this process. And this process has 3 rounds. So the concept and the reason we're doing it, so purpose, right? To test individual variables associated with our campaign, so we learn and improve while scaling. Now, most people, when they run an ad campaign, they are honestly just throwing spaghetti at the wall. They'll write a bunch of ads, they'll come up with an audience that might work, a campaign, they'll just launch it all at once, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it's like, fuck, I'll start all over again. And if something does work and other shit doesn't work, they just shut the shit off that didn't work. They run with the shit that does work. And it's honestly just disorganized nonsense. You're not learning anything. You might think you are, but you don't truly know, was it the image? Was it the copy? Was it the offer? Was it the funnel? Was it what the fuck was it, right? That actually worked? I don't know. So in this sense, we're isolating. What we're doing is we're isolating individual variables in order to learn what is actually working, what is actually moving the needle, right? So we do this in 3 phases. So phase 1, audiences. So what you're going to do is you're going to make 1 control ad using your scary offer. So basically just 1 standardized soap ad doing your scary offer. So if your scary offer is like 30 appointments for realtors, it's literally like, hey, realtors, do you want 30 guaranteed buyer appointments in the next 30 days? Click here, claim that shit, and let's talk. The offer is there. That's it. Then you're going to create 3 to 4 audiences. Put the control ad into each one. So what does this mean? It means literally the only variable that's changing in all of it is put it. I'm just going to say I put it in the comments or put it in the chat. What is the only variable we're isolating here? What is the thing that's standalone? The only difference in all of these audiences. What is it? Put it in the comments or put it in the chat. Nope, not offer. The offer is the same in all of the ad sets. The difference is the audiences, guys. The audiences, the targeting. Correct, David. We're creating 3 to 4 different audiences and using one same exact offer and ad in each one. So we determine the winner. We determine the winner by an actual calculatable or usable or obvious difference in either leading or lagging indicators. So we want to do like, we usually want to do like 3 audiences we want here. So 3 winning audiences out of the 5.
I was going to, but
So then we move into phase 2. Okay. So with this phase 2, now we're testing offers. Okay. So we're going to take the control ad, we're going to take the 2 or 3 winning audiences we have, and we're going to add a new variable. So we know that those things are already functioning. So now we're going to duplicate the control ad and create 3 to 4 new offers, headlines plus hook, right? And test them, test the exact same ones in each audience, in each winning audience. Now we know the audiences are winners. Now the only new variable we're inserting is the offers. Okay, same thing, determine winner.
let me ask you a question really quick. So like, why aren't you testing more variables at once?
2 to 3 winning offers out of the 5 or whatever that we have. Because if you test too many of them at once, they won't feed out. So if you
Well,
test
they won't feed out, but then you'll never find out what worked and what didn't too, right?
No, that's entirely incorrect. So we're testing 3 to 4 ones that could work. If we test anything more than that, we won't have enough budget to actually ever get to the representation of what's going on. So you can always expand if you have a shit ton more budget.
Right. But what I meant was not that. Budget aside, like let's say let's say I'm launching ads for the new people in here that are going to run ads, or people who just suck in their running ads and don't get results, right? They're not working their way. If you test too many variables all at once, then you won't know which variable is the trigger that's causing the uptick, right?
Well, we're only testing one variable per phase. So audiences, offers, creative. The 2 or 3 variations of it is variations of that variable.
Of that underlying
Correct.
phase.
The whole purpose is to isolate and give enough attention to each individual variable to make sure that it actually works and that you can fix it. Yeah.
So yeah, this is what goes down in the rapid fire testing. So it's all calculated here, phase by phase, step by step. And that's where a little bit of patience comes into, that we have to go in order, because we can always skip the steps, but then you're going to fuck it up and you're going to always be in no man's land the whole entire livelihood that you're running ads for yourself, which is fine to blow your own money. But when you're blowing your own clients' money, that's not very fucking cool, you know? So like these are kind of the step-by-step things to follow along with. And if you guys have any questions, drop them on Facebook land, because I want you guys to get that course. We got to hit the 200 comments, otherwise Santa won't fit in the chimney.
So at this point, then you do the same thing with creative. So first is images or videos, then you can do another phase for copy if you want. And then you're going to study the winning variables. So along the way, inside of the GST program, the main GST program, we give people a tracker sheet that allows you to say, these are the things we're testing. Here's the assets, here's the copy. And if they win, you put them in the winning. If they lose or fail, you put them in the losing or fail column. And that allows you to, when you go to rebuild new assets in the future, you can just pull from what's been winning. So you are technically creating new, as in you're refreshing the ad and putting something else out in front of them, but you're pulling from the winning stuff that you've already created and tested along the way in the past, allowing you to easily be able to get up off on the right foot instead of starting from absolute zero. You're pushing in the same direction, right? We're always talking about build momentum in the same way all the time. This allows you to do that, right, without pulling. All of this making sense, guys? Drop a 1 in the chat, 1s in the comments if this is making sense. Now, the other part of this, right, is that this is from scratch. Now, you can use this same testing process for some of the shit that we went over a minute ago for when shit breaks. So if the leading indicators are telling you, oh, my link click-through rate is really low, so my offers probably suck, my creatives probably suck, then you can go right to do a whole new phase 2. You're like, okay, well, let's isolate the variable of offer, right, and plug that out. If our cost per click is too high and our CPMs are too high, then we know audience is a problem. We do an isolation of the audiences and we test those. And then we go back down through to phase 2, phase 3. So hopefully this shows you how you guys can not only launch a campaign on the right foot, but troubleshoot a broken campaign and be able to fix that as well. Now, specifically, a couple of things that we saw for these people that we're talking about, the agency one and the coaching result ads that I talked about how we fixed in the beginning. The agency one had a couple of things. One, new offer needed to be tested. So we launched rapid fire testing right from round 1. So we turned the rest of the stuff wasn't worth it. The $120 cost per lead is way too fucking high. It's so far outside of our accepted range of lead costs that I went over in the beginning that I was like, cool, we're going to scrap that campaign because it's no good. And we're going to relaunch right from round 1 because we need to really test audiences, but we really specifically needed a stronger offer. Rapid fire testing and soap ads. So rapid fire testing plus soap ads. If you guys have gone through that training, if you haven't, go back through it. But the soap ads are a very simplified ad campaign that's really good for doing a round of rapid fire before you expand out and make it more complicated. I think, and I'll let you guys determine this, I think I'm going to do the next week's training on the exact way that we've done two things. So we've actually recently helped a coach have a $400,000 month, and we helped another one have their first $200,000 month. Along with our own shit that's worked really well. It's very specifically rapid fire testing, lead form, soap campaign, scale with more complexity, and then introducing a middle of funnel nurture system through groups. If that's something you guys want, because I always, this is a democracy. We want to train people on what they actually want. If that's something you guys want, don't put it in the Zoom chat, put it in the Facebook group and give me, I don't know, a hashtag 400K. Okay. I'm going to link the actual video, by the way, in the chat, and everybody out there out on Facebook land. If this is something you want, put a hashtag 400K. And if I get enough of those, that'll be the one that I do next week. I think it's fucking awesome, but if you guys aren't ready for it, if you don't think it'd be useful for you, then no. But I think even no matter where you are, it'd be good for you guys just to see it, because this is what we use quite well and effectively. Very kind of advanced, but I think it'll be really good for you guys to put together along with what we're kind of going over here. So specifically, that's what we did for him. Did that plus the soap ads to find the winning offer, right? To find our winners. Second thing we did was implement a setter. Okay. Now the purpose of the setter was so that they can call leads that didn't self-book, plus do database reactivation for old leads, plus potentially work as a triager once too many calls are being booked on the calendar.
Yeah, one caution to do is, like, a lot of people that don't have a track record are hiring their setters to do the triages when they don't know how to triage themselves. Get your reps in yourself, because then you'll be able to lead your setter to be better. And like Cody just mentioned, something very important here is that once there's overflow where you can't take it, but you don't want to shut up your lead flow, that's when you're going to be wanting to train somebody to duplicate that. I don't want to call it a lower end task because it's a money-making activity. It's like one of the most important things, but just make sure you get training for that person in place. That's the fucking key element. That's where our sales come from, is that process. Do the setting yourself until you are just way too busy. Okay. That's super duper important. Make sense, everybody? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I prefaced that with something that's going to kind of contradict what he just said, but we do that to each other sometimes. And that's the whole point of having a business partner, is to have two different voices. A lot of people fuck up ads for that very reason. So I do agree with Rahul that you need to do your own setting first until you have a sales process locked in. The other part of this, though, is that if you don't have a team in place, you need to be okay with the fact that you're going to be talking to leads that are not perfect. So a lot of people will launch campaigns, and that's what happened here. Was we had to fix their setter team, and we helped implement a setter that helped a lot here. A lot of people will launch ads for their own agency or for coaches, right? And then they'll have to deal with shit leads because, oh my God, newsflash, every lead that comes through Facebook isn't a golden goose that's waiting to just pay you $100,000. You know, most of them are shit leads, and you have to talk to people, nurture people, and produce income that way, right? You have to go through that process. A lot of people who own companies will cut campaigns short based on themselves having to talk to all of the stuff. So even if it has an ROI, they don't want to spend the time that it takes to be able to nurture, create, and produce results from those leads. And so they'll kill campaigns early. And so in the beginning, I do 100% believe that you should do it yourself so that you master it. But it's also very important for scale to implement a team that's going to help you sift through the mud, sift through the river, and produce the gold flakes that you need to be able to make that work at scale to really become profitable. The second thing we did for him was really implement the middle of funnel nurturing system. I might be going over this a lot in the next little bit, but it's very similar to what we're doing right here with you guys, like a low ticket premium group membership type thing, monetizing some of the people that want to be a part of that, plus group growth ads that nurture it. So you're doing all of this stuff, and we do all of this at the top for him. And this was all working pretty well. We scaled it and redid it a little bit. So we did do rapid fire testing for new offers, right? And then we did what's called, if anybody's ever read the book, Ready, Fire, Aim. Anybody ever read that book, Ready, Fire, Aim? Yeah, drop a one in the comments or something, or two or something. So anyway, he talks about your optimal selling system, right? That guy inside of Ready, Fire, Aim. So this guy's optimal selling system turned out to be the group. Basically, it was an email list for some reason, not phone all that much, but email list plus group, right? Plus setting process and sales team. So that was his optimal selling system. And so we went through, what is your optimal selling system? Okay, cool. And so we did that, put that together, and then scaled with scaled towards, I would say, their optimal selling system, which is super important. So I mean, it's one of those things where I'm telling you guys all the time, right? Build and act as if. And if you haven't heard me say that, I don't know where the hell you've been, right? Build and act as if you have an optimal selling system. So if your optimal selling system right now is you have a group and you're really good at pulling people from that group, then the reality is ads should be used to amplify that. If you're a really good closer and you just need more phone calls and you have a good offer, there's just not enough eyeballs in front of it, your ads should be used to amplify that. Preferably with all of the troubleshooting and testing and stuff that I'm telling you guys to do in the beginning beforehand. But ads are an amplifier. They're supposed to be able to improve shit that's already working. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of this, guys. I think we'll end this part here pretty quickly, and we'll hop over into the VIP session. But just to rattle off some shit that we've gone over today. One, how to troubleshoot ad campaigns by understanding the stats that you're looking at and the fixes that are associated with those stats. Understanding baselines that you should be trying to move towards or around, so you can leverage those and have those as kind of what are they called? Way sticks. I can't. That's not the word, but the North Star towards what you should be going towards for your ad campaigns. And when that doesn't work for either your leading or lagging indicators, you should now know what's the basic thing that you should be trying to improve. You take that information, And then we went over the rapid fire testing methodology so that number one, you can set up your campaigns to succeed the first time. But number two, when you're troubleshooting the way that I did at the beginning, how to actually make that shit work, you know how to troubleshoot and you know what to use using the rapid fire testing methodology to actually then go back and improve your campaigns. The third thing we went over was the 2 individual results that I showed you guys at the beginning of this call, the kind of cool shit that we've been able to do for both an agency and a coach recently to have really good results. How we did that, specifically what the fixes were, specifically what it is that we managed to do to make that shit work. All of that shit together is how we were able to get it done. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. If it was, please go and drop your feedback in the comments under the Facebook post. If you're watching out there for right now, say something like a 3 in there. It tells me that this was worth my time and we can continue on. I saw a few hashtag 400Ks over there, I believe. So it looks like maybe that'll be next week's training. I'd like to see at least a couple more, right, to make sure that I do that for next week. But I think that makes sense. So I'll start hitting that up. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap up the live training part of this. Rahul, anything for any knowledge or last minute monologues before we head over into the VIP room?
Yeah, so I just dropped the link in Facebook land to join the VIP. We're going to cut the stream here in just a minute. For everybody that is live right now, and when you hear this on the replay, drop your comments, and especially to help the VIP guys, we have to get to 200 comments. Right now, we're lackluster. We're at like 50 or so. So some of you guys are going to have to go back there and drop your notes and help people. So when you comment, don't comment just to say just for bullshit. Give some value so other people in the group. The whole purpose of this is not to get to the number 200 for like ego purposes. It's to reach more people in the group. They can join our VIP, get the access to us, but also get the free information that we've already covered here, which I think is pretty valuable for some people that are just starting out, or they've been around and just suffering from peaks and valleys and just need a community. Okay, is that fair? Is that fair ask for all you guys? Yeah. Cool. All right. So what do we, just to throw a teaser out there to entice people to jump into the $7 and invest that whole Frappuccino money? What are we going to be covering on this VIP? So the VIPs can actually go get a client by using this information, but also get fucking leads themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing they get is all of the whiteboard work. So literally they get to save those processes and go make that shit happen. But I'll drop a few more nuggets on what this actually can mean for their revenue, how to use this information to look better than your competition, how to use this information to literally go hunt for clients by taking that and talking to them in a way that makes you sound like the expert, because now you are the fucking expert. Just using these bullets in the chamber alone makes you 10 times as more valuable than any other Tom, Dick, and Harry that watched a couple of YouTube videos and or took Facebook's blueprint course and suddenly think that they're an expert, right? So this kind of shit is how you can make yourself stand out in a red ocean and make some real money. So we're going to dive deep into that. And then everybody on here who's a VIP gets to also ask us questions and get me to personally walk them through in depth and make sure they know exactly how to make this shit work. So, I mean, if that's not worth a cup of Starbucks to you guys out there,
well, also one more thing, $4,993 off to that free SaaS course that you offered. So SaaS is on the line for those 200 comments too. So anyways, that is it. I'm going to cut the stream. Let's go.